This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, it is very much appreciated. We're going to take another look at another Classic Watch 26 Possible today that is based in the UK, ahead of the UK 1000 Guineas, which is tomorrow at Newmarket. But before we do that, as always, I like to mention my own Patreon channel in these videos, Newman Racing, the Patreon is called. Head over there and see if it's for you and what would be my advice, especially if you are into national hunt racing, because a lot of the national hunt racing is now on the Patreon channel. It's also the place where the yearly reviews take place as well, which basically enables me to eliminate a few older horses that might be falling short to make way for the next year's 3-year-old crops. They're normally shown on Patreon as well. There's plenty of resources that's on there as well that have been uploaded over the years as well. Opportunities to support me as well moving forward. Plenty of paid content, plenty of free content as well from over the years. So why not head over to Patreon, Newman Racing? You never know, it might be for you. Let's get on to the Classic Watch stuff now, shall we? classicwatch26.great/site.net is where people will be able to find this year's edition of Classic Watch, including the first UK-based horse on the site, the UK 2000 Guineas winner, Bo Echo. That's right. The site has done it again today, but that race is in the past now. We move on to the future. UK 1000 Guineas as the Roll of Honour is updated. It's the Kentucky Derby tonight, so there might be more horses added on to the Roll of Honour at some point this evening as well. And then we've got the UK Guineas tomorrow, 1000 Guineas, and then it's on to France next week, I think. So yeah, head over to classicwatch26.great/site.net to keep up to date with the great site. Will this horse be on it? Abashiri is the name of the horse, a filly, trained by Charlie Appleby and owned by Godolphin. The horse is sired by Frankel out of a dam called Sabetsu, who herself is sired by Jubawi. The horse was bred by Godolphin as well. Check the entries for the horse. Before we take a look at the form, you'll see that the horse has got the sort of entries that we really like. You'll see that the horse is entered in the 1000 Guineas tomorrow at 3:35 UK time. And the horse is also entered on Friday, the 5th of June, in the UK Oaks as well, a Group 1 race over 1.5 miles. The horse also at this stage is entered in the Ascot Coronation Stakes over 1 mile as well on the 19th of June. Plenty of interesting entries for this horse. The horse has only had one run in its life on the all-weather, where she managed to win. She defeated Venetia by 4 lengths in a Class 5 maiden on the 5th of November 2025 at Kempton, where she was ridden by William Buick, and she ran to a Racing Post rating of 85, which obviously this horse is all about pedigree, all about potential. This is my sort of horse, really. This horse could be in, what a season this horse could be in for if the horse can run up to the ability of its potential. So much to find on the figures, though. There's some horses that have won Group 1s at 2 in the UK 1000 Guineas. Some very good horses with form. But this horse, what a pedigree this horse has. People will see, if they look at the horse on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database, they're not even aware that the horse has even made its debut yet. But all we're interested in the dam line on this site is 4N. It's about the only thing you can rely on this site at times. Abashiri, dam line 4N. What we're going to do here is we're just going to keep going until probably the 5th dam, a dam called Margarethan, who was foaled in 1962. We're going to try and pick up some good horses along the way. I've had to leave so many horses out of this video, it's fair to say. You know, so many. I'm not even going to show you any stallion records in this video or anything like that. You know, the video will be so long otherwise. You know, I have to sort of try my best to keep them down. If I showed you the stallion record for every stallion on this line, we'd be here till tomorrow. The race will have finished. It is what it is, this horse. So let's get cracking, shall we? I'm going to try and stick to the point as much as possible on this one. We've got to look at a horse before we even get to the first dam. English Rose, a mare born in 2020, sired by Frankel out of Sabetsu. This horse is a full sister to our horse, Abashiri. English Rose, 5 starts in her career, 3 wins and 2 places. Never out of the first 2 in her first 5 starts, for career earnings of $292,274 US in her career so far. English Rose has managed to win the Group 2 Ballantyne Stakes of 2024 at Maidan. She was also placed second in the Group 1 Jenny Wiley Stakes at Keeneland and placed second in the Group 2 Cape Verde as well, a race held at Maidan. She won her debut race and raced in Great Britain, the UAE and the US. Group 2 winning Group 1 placed filly, full sister to our horse who hasn't even raced in a pattern race. Are we already getting an idea of the potential of this horse? We're going to take a look at the dam now. Sabetsu. Sabetsu is a mare born in 2014, sired by Dubawi out of a dam called Lake Toya, who was born in 2002 and sired by Darshan. Sabetsu raced 7 times in her career, 3 wins and 2 thirds, 5 out of 7 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £269,547 UK pounds in her career so far. Sabetsu, in her time, was a Group 1 winner. She managed to win what was then the Prix Saint Allery of 2017, now a Group 2 race. She also won the Group 2 Prix de la Nonette, a race held in France, and finished 3rd in the Nassau Stakes, a Group 1 race held in Great Britain. She was another one bred by Darley and owned by Godolphin and trained by Charlie Appleby. So we've got a Group 1 winning dam of our horse as well. So take a look now. A few of the horses I found in between the second and the third dam. Like I said, I've had to eliminate a lot of these because listed winners and even Group 3 winners will just pad out the video. Lightback is the next horse we're going to take a look at. A mare born in 2021, sired by Kizuna, out of an Irish bred mare called In the Spotlight, who was born in 2014 and sired by Exceed and Excel. People will see that Lake Toya is the third dam of this horse, and she is the dam also of Sabetsu. Lightback raced 9 times in her career, 2 wins and 2 thirds, 4 out of 9 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 112,561,000 Japanese yen in her career so far. Lightback has managed to win the Elfin Stakes of 2024, and the horse was also 3rd in the Group 1 Oka Show, the Japanese 1,000 guineas, and she was also 3rd in the Japanese Oaks the same year, 2024, which was 2 years ago. Trained by Taiki Chari and owned by Kazuhiro Masuda, the horse was bred by Lake Villa Farm and the Yearling Training Farm and Northern Farm. So yeah, very interesting horse out of the set related to the dam of our horse there, I think. Lake Toya, a mare born in 2002, sired by Darshan out of a dam called Shinko Hermes, who was bred in 1993, sired by Sadler's Wells out of a dam called Doff the Derby. Lake Toya raced 11 times in her career, 4 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds, 8 out of 11 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €26,205 and £26,550 UK pounds in her career. Solid horse in her own right, Lake Toya. At 3, she managed to win the listed Prix Caravel in France of 2005, and at 4, she won the listed the Gillies Filly Stakes, sorry, my mistake. At 3, she was also placed in the Prix de Flore, a Group 3 race in France, and at 5, she was placed in the Gillies again. So this horse, the second dam of our horse, is a Group 3 placed dual listed winner, trained by Andre Farb and then trained by Syed bin Saror. The horse owned by Godolphin and bred by Darley. Very good horse. Tower of London. We've got to look at my old mate Tower of London, haven't we? I'd love to show you the stallion record of this horse. Tower of London, a horse born in the year 2015, sired by Ravens Pass out of a dam called Snowpine, a British bred mare who was born in 2010. People will see that Shinko Hermes is the second dam of our Tower of London, sired by Dalakani. Tower of London raced 18 times in his career, 7 wins, 3 seconds and 3 thirds. 13 out of 18 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $3,307,428 US dollars in his career. It's also actually raced in Japan. At 2, the horse won the Group 2 Keiho High Nisai Stakes and was third in the Group 1 Asahi High Futurity. At 3, the horse won the Group 3 Arlington Cup over a mile. At 4, the horse won the Group 1 Sprinters Stakes over 6 furlongs at Nakayama. The horse also won the Keiho High Spring Cup, a Group 2 out at Tokyo. The horse also won the Sankei Show Centaur Stakes, Group 2 race out at Nakayama. Second in the Group 3 Keeneland Cup, and third in the Group 3 Hakodate Sprint Stakes as well. At 5, the horse was third in the Group 3 Ocean Stakes. Group 1 winner over a variety of Group 1 winner and a pattern race winner over a variety of distances. Good stallion, I think this is. Very good stallion on this dam line. Very good. It's already sired me a Grade 1 winner, Panja Tower, out in Japan. Just a matter of getting the right dam line with it. Bred by Darley Japan and owned by Godolphin. Good stallion. One of my favourites at the moment. The next horse we're going to take a look at is D Majesty. D Majesty, a horse born in 2013, sired by Deep Impact out of a dam called Hermes Tiara, who was born in 1998. People will see that Shinko Hermes is also the second dam of this horse as well, sired by Brian's Time. D Majesty raced 11 times in his career, 4 wins, 2 seconds and a third, 7 out of 11 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 302,432,000 Japanese yen. D Majesty, a very good horse. Japanese classic winner of the Japanese 2,000 guineas of 2016. The horse also won the St. Light Kinen the same year, Group 2, and the Kyoto News Service High, a Group 3. Third in the Japanese Derby the same year. Trained by Yoshitaka Ninomiya, the horse entered stud in Arrow Stud in 2018. The horse might have died, passing of the horse owners, so we know this horse might also be at stud now. Bred by Hattori Bakujo and owned by Masaru Shimada, who might have passed on. Very good horse, D Majesty. Derby third, classic winner, incredible horse. Well, finally, we're looking at the third dam of our horse. I think we're only here. Shinko Hermes, a mare born in 1993, sired by Sadler's Wells, out of a dam called Doff the Derby, who, like I said, was born in 1981 and sired by Master Derby, out of a dam called Margarethan. Shinko Hermes, relative disappointment in Japan. She only raced once and she earned 500,000 yen for her unplaced effort. Trained in Japan, she was bred by Baronstown Stud and Roncon Limited and owned by Asamo Yosuda and then later on Darley. It's now where things get ridiculous. Imagine was the next horse we're going to take a look at, a mare born in 1998, sired by Sadler's Wells out of a dam called Doff the Derby. So this will be a full sister to the third dam of our horse. Imagine raced 10 times in her career, 4 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds, 8 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 527,013 US dollars in her career. Imagine dual classic winner for breeder and owner Baronstown Stud. She won the Vodafone English Oaks of 2001. She also won the Irish 1,000 guineas the same year, the Group 3 Park Stakes as well. She was second in the Group 2 Rockvale. That was a different year. Very different horse. Very good horse, sorry. Black type producer, dual classic winner. The dam there, Imagine. And she is responsible for some excellent horses. Horatio Nelson, a horse that was born in 2003, sired by Dane Hill, out of Imagine. Horatio Nelson raced 7 times in his career, 4 wins and a second. 5 out of 7 starts in the first 2. For career earnings of €331,047 in his career. Horatio Nelson, a superb horse, Group 1 winning 2-year-old, winner of the Prix Jean-Luc Lagardère of 2005. The horse also won the Group 2 Futurity and the Group 3 Superlative Stakes at Newmarket. Second in the Dewhurst. The horse sadly euthanised after he broke down in the Vodafone Derby in June 2006 with injuries similar to Barbaro's. Broken cannon bone, broken sesamoid and dislocated fetlock. Brilliantly bred horse by Beaverstone and Tower Bloodstock, owned by Mrs. John Magnier and Mrs. David Nagel. Absolute machine of a horse. I remember it going round. Absolute sadness when he died on the track. Very good horse, Horatio Nelson. 15 years later, we had Van Gogh, a horse born in the year 2018, sired by American Pharaoh, out of Imagine. Van Gogh raced 11 times in his career, 2 wins, 3 seconds and a third. 6 out of 11 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of €194,890 in his career. Van Gogh, Group 1 winner of the Group 1 Criterium International of 2020 at 2. The horse was also third the next year in the Irish 2,000 Guineas of 2021. Second in 2 more pattern races at 2. Very good horse. 2020 Cartier champion 2-year-old colt in Europe. The horse entered stud in 2022 at East Stud in Hokkaido in Japan. Shame the horse is so well bred. The video would be too long if we did this for every horse, so we will be glossing over the stallion records today. Van Gogh, what a horse he was. Viscount Nelson, a horse born in the year 2007, sired by Giant's Causeway, out of Imagine. Viscount Nelson raced 13 times in his career, 3 wins, 2 seconds and 3 thirds. 8 out of 13 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of $327,972 in his career. Viscount Nelson at 3 won the Group 3 Leopardstown 2,000 Guineas trial, and the same year was third in the Group 1 Eclipse the same year, as well as finishing placed in the Irish 2,000 Guineas. Horse at 4 won the Silver Stakes in Ireland. Oh, he finished second in the Leopardstown's 2,000 Guineas. Sorry, my mistake. At 2, the horse won the Hurricane Run Stakes and was second in the Champagne Stakes as well, a Group 2 race held in the UK. He was at stud as far back as 2011 at Harras Don Alberto in Chile. The horse bred by Baronstown Stud and owned by Susan Magnier and Diane Nagel. Kitty Matcham, the mare born in 2005, sired by Rock of Gibraltar, out of Imagine. Kitty Matcham raced 10 times in her career. She only managed to win on 2 occasions, 2 out of 10 in the first 3, for career earnings of £51,785 UK pounds in her career. Kitty Matcham at 2 was second in the Group 2 Rockvale Stakes of 2007. Another one owned by Baronstown Stud and Tower Bloodstock, bred by them, and owned by Mrs. David Nagel and Mrs. John Magnier. She's actually the dam of this horse here, or look at the pedigree of it, the second dam of this horse here. Golden Century, a gelding, born in 2021, sired by Piero, out of a dam called Breeze, an Irish-bred mare who was born in 2014 and sired by Cedar Stars. Golden Century raced 17 times in his career, 2 wins, 3 seconds and 5 thirds. 8 out of 17 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $238,778 Australian dollars in his career. Good horse, Golden Century. Finished third in the 2025 New Zealand Derby. I didn't know that. I might have backed it if I knew it was as well bred as that. But the horse was a gelding, and the horse also finished third in the listed Ginger Nut Salver, a listed race held at Ellerslie. Bred by Catom and Pencarrow Thoroughbreds Limited and owned by OTI Racing. Yeah, good horse. Missed it this year. Well hidden. Golden Century hadn't won a pattern race still to this day, but placed in a classic. Next horse we're going to take a look at is Red Rock Canyon. Red Rock Canyon, a horse born in 2004, sired by Rock of Gibraltar out of Imagine. Red Rock Canyon raced 33 times in his career, only managing to win one race, but he was placed 7 times and third 6 times, 14 of 33 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £186,162 UK pounds in his career. Bit of a pacemaker this one was at some stage. At 3, the horse was placed though in third in the Group 1 Irish Champion Stakes. The horse was also placed third in the Tassels Gold Cup the year later in Ireland. And at 5, the horse was placed in the Group 2 Royal Whip Stakes and the Group 3 International Stakes at the Curragh, both those races. Interesting really that the horse never really managed to get his head in front many times. The horse was raced in Ireland, the UK, USA, France and Ireland, and the horse at some stage was at stud in Brazil. Bred by Beaverstone and Tower Bloodstock, owned by A. Flintoff, MF de Kock and L. Westwood. I wonder if that's Andy Flintoff and Lee Westwood. Yeah, who knows? And Mike de Kock is certainly Mike de Kock. Yeah, stud in Brazil, Red Rock Canyon. Is that enough out of Imagine now? Are you all crying enough? Yeah, good. Right, let's move on. Generous. A horse born in the year 1988, sired by Caerleon, out of Doff the Derby. Imagine's older brother, Generous. Horse born in 1988. 11 wins in his career, 6 wins, a second and a third. 8 out of 11 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of $2,128,731 US dollars in his career. Classic winner, Generous, won the Derby of 1991, and he also won the Irish Derby the same year. The horse also won the Group 1 Dewhurst of 1990 and the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes in the same year, Group 1. Second in the Coventry, third in the Vintage at 2. Here's the 1991 British and Irish Horse of the Year. Sold for 200,000 Irish guineas in 1989. He sadly died on January the 15th, 2013 at Scarva Stud in Northern Ireland. The horse bred by Barronstown Stud and owned by Prince Fard Salmon and Banstead Manor Stud. Absolutely magnificent racehorse. Dual classic winner. Wedding Bouquet, a mare born in 1987, sired by Kingslake out of Doff the Derby. So yeah, another sister to Generous and Imagine. Wedding Bouquet raced 10 times in her career, 5 wins, a second and 3 thirds. 9 out of 10 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of $201,062 American dollars in her career. Wedding Bouquet won the Group 3 Park Stakes, and she also won the Group 3 Monrovia Handicap out in America, second in the Group 1 National Stakes of 1989, and third in the Group 1 Phoenix Stakes the same year, as well as the Group 3 Debutante Stakes, which is a higher rated race now. Also placed in the Phoenix International Stakes as well, a Group 1 race in Ireland over a mile at the time. Very good horse, dual Group 3 winner, dual listed winner, and 3 times placed in Group 1 races. Bred by Barronstown Stud and owned by Mrs. M.V. O'Brien. Very good horse. The next one we're going to take a look at is Moonlight Cloud. People will see that Wedding Bouquet is the second dam of this horse, and Doff the Derby is the third dam. Moonlight Cloud, a mare born in 2008, sired by Invincible Spirit out of a dam called Ventura, who was born in 1998 and sired by Spectrum. Moonlight Cloud raced 20 times in her career, 12 wins and 2 seconds, 14 out of 20 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $1,403,662 UK pounds in her career. Very good horse, Moonlight Cloud at 3. The horse won the Group 1 Prix-Maurice de Geest. It also won the Group 3 Prix Imprudence and the Group 3 Prix de Port Maillot at 4. The horse won another Group 1 Prix Maurice de Geest. Horse also won the Group 1 Prix de Moulin, the Group 3 Prix de Palais Royal. Placed in the Diamond Jubilee Stakes at Royal Ascot. At 5, the horse won its third Maurice de Geest in succession, and the Prix Jacques Le Marois, and also the Prix de la Forêt at Longchamp, and also another Prix de Port-Maillot for good measure. She was the 2013 Cartier Older Horse Award, where she beat the males, bred by George Strawbridge and owned by Augustine Stable. Fantastic filly. Moonlight Cloud. Rogue Millennium, a mare born in 2019, sired by Jubawi, out of a dam called Hawafiz, who was born in 2008 and sired by Nayef. People will see that Wedding Bouquet is in fact the fourth dam of this horse, Rogue Millennium. Rogue Millennium's raced 18 times in her career, 3 wins, 4 seconds and 4 thirds, 11 out of 18 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £287,405 UK pounds and €141,670 in her race career. Rogue Millennium at 3 won the listed Oaks Finish Trial Stakes over 11.5 furlongs and was second in the Group 3 Hopping Stakes. At 4, she won the Group 2 Duke of Cambridge Stakes, finishing placed in the Group 1 Matron Stakes. And at 5, she was placed third in the Group 1 Falmouth Stakes, the Group 1 Prix Rothschilds, as well as the Group 2 Landwade Stud Stakes. So, yeah, this horse is a Group 2 and listed winning filly who has been placed several times at Group 1 level, bred by Shadwell Estate Company Limited and owned by the Rogues Gallery, and later on after that by Scott C. Hyder. Horse was trained by Tom Clover and then Joseph O'Brien. Raced in Great Britain, France and Ireland. Another useful mare from recently. Strawberry Roan. Yeah, we're done with the Wedding Bouquets now. Strawberry Roan, a mare born in 1994. Sired by Sadler's Wells out of Doff the Derbies. This is another very well-bred horse and very closely related to the third dam of our horse. Strawberry Roan raced 10 times in her career, 3 wins, a second and 2 thirds, 6 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £72,879 UK pounds in her career. Strawberry Roan was second in the Irish 1,000 guineas of 1997. She managed to win 2 listed races, the Airfield Stakes and the 1,000 guineas trial. She was also placed third in the Group 3 Meld Stakes and the listed Debutant Stakes, and 4th in the Group 1 Irish Oaks of 1997. Trained by Aidan O'Brien, bred by Barons Townstead and Roncon Limited. The horse was owned by Mrs. John Magnier. Berry Blaze is an interesting horse out of Strawberry Roan. Berry Blaze, a mare born in 2008, sired by Danehill Dancer. Berry Blaze raced 17 times in her career, 2 wins, 4 seconds and 4 thirds, 10 out of 17 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £434,180 South African Rand. Berry Blaze was placed second in the 2011 KRA Fillies Guineas at Greyville in South Africa. I think that race was today. And she was also placed second in the Gerald Rosenborg Stakes, a Group 2 race as well. Third in the SA Fillies Classic, a Group 1 race, and the Wolverhampton 2000 at Greyville. She was also placed third in the Group 2 Gold Bracelet as well. Sold for £190,000 and exported to South Africa. She's a black type producer as well, bred by Western Bloodstock and owned by Wilder Bogsdrift Limited. Very good horse, Berry Blaze, out in South Africa. Kiasora is another one I've decided to look at. Kiasora, a Chilean bred horse, foaled in 2022, sired by Looking at Lucky, out of an Irish bred mare called Know Me Love Me, who was born in 2012 and sired by Danehill Dancer. People see that Strawberry Roan is the second dam of this horse. Kiasora, 8 starts, 3 wins, a second and 2 thirds. 6 out of 8 starts in the first 3, for we don't know how much money. What we do know is Kiasora was placed in the Clásico Nacional Hembras, one of the Fillies Classics over a mile in Chile, a Group 1 race, And she was also, I think she managed to finish placed or won the Classico Lysimaco Jaraquamada, a race in Chile as well. The horse owned and bred by Harras Don Alberto out in Chile. I think we can now take a look at a dam, can't we? Doff the Derby, the fourth dam of our horse. Is he the fourth dam of our horse? No, he's not. He's just a relative, isn't he? Oh dear. Doff the Derby, a mare born in 1981. Oh no, she is out of Cinco Hermes. I've gone wrong somewhere. Have I gone wrong? Oh no, the fourth dam of our horse, sorry, is Doff the Derby. My mistake. A mare born in 1981, sired by Master Derby out of a dam called Margarethan, who was born in 1962, and sired by Tulliar out of a dam called Russ Marie. Doff the Derby, unraced. Unraced fourth dam of our horse, so there's not really much to say about the race career of her. But there was a bit to say about the race career of this one. Trillon, a mare born in 1974, sired by Hail to Reason out of Margarethan. So the unraced fourth dam of our horse, who has produced all those horses that we've looked at, is half sister to this here, Trillon. 32 starts in her career, 9 wins, 14 seconds and 3 thirds. 26 out of 32 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $957,413 US in her career. Trillon managed to win the Group 1 Prix Gannett and the Group 2 Prix Dollar twice. Also winner of the Group 2 Prix Harcourt, Group 3 Prix de Royaux, the Group 3 Prix Foy and the Group 3 Prix Minerve. USA Champion Grass Mare of 1979. She was also the champion older mare in France. She died from foaling complications, sadly, in 1987, owned and bred by Nelson Bunker Hunt. But she did breed Triptych. Triptych, a mare born in 1982, sired by Riverman out of Trillon. Triptych raced 41 times in his career, 14 wins, 5 starts and 11 places. 27 starts, 27 out of 41 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $1,823,781 US. What a horse Triptych was, it's fair to say. Triptych at 2 won the Group 1 Prix Marcel Boussac of 1984. At 3, the horse was a classic winner, winning the Group 1 Irish 2,000 guineas of 1985. Horse also won the Group 3 Irish 1,000 guineas trial, second in the Oaks of the same year, 1985, and third in the Benson Hedges Gold Cup and the Rothmans International Stakes in Canada. At 4, the horse won the Champion Stakes of Britain, the Group 3 La Coupe in France, second in the Coronation Cup, second in the Eclipse, second in what is now the Juddmonte International, third in the King George, third in the Irish Champion Stakes, and third in the Arc. At 5, the horse won another Champion Stakes. This year he also won the Irish Champion Stakes, the Coronation Cup, the Juddmonte, what is now Juddmonte International, and the Prix Gannett. Third in the Eclipse, third in the King George, and third in another Arc. And at 6, the horse won the Coronation Cup, the Group 3 Prix de Prince d'Orange, and he was third in the Prix Gannett, third in the Eclipse, and third in the Irish Champion Stakes. The horse suddenly died because of a paddock accident. Bred by N.B. Hunt and E.L. Stevenson, owned by Mr. Alan Core. What an incredible career that horse had. And to think these horses are so closely related to our horses is absolutely frightening. What else have we got on this line? Have we got anything else? Yeah. Trev is on this line. Trillon is the fourth dam of Trev. Trev, a mare born in 2010, sired by Motivator out of a dam called Trevis, who was born in the year 2000 and sired by Anabar out of a dam called Trevirari, who was an American bred dam. Trev raced 13 times in her career, 9 wins, a second and a third, 11 out of 13 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €7,276,825 and 56,490 UK pounds in her career. Trev at 3 won the Arc, She also won the French Oaks Classic winner in 2013, and she also won the Group 1 Prix Vermeil. At 4, Trev won another arc. She was second in the Prix Gannet and third in the Prince of Wales Estate. And at 5, the horse won the Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud and the Group 1 Prix Vermeil and the Group 2 Prix Corrida. She's a broodmare with Harras de Bocatot, a filly by Frankel in 2024, colt by Wootton Bassett, Cartier Horse of the Year in 2013, Cartier Champion 3-year-old filly the same year, trained by Cricket Head Marek, raced in France, bred by Harras de Quesnay and owned by Al Shakab Racing. What a phenomenal race mare she is. A few good race mares on this line, isn't there? It's fair to say. Another horse we can take a look at is Torquay. People can see that Trillin is the third dam of this horse. Torquay's a horse born in 2002, sired by King Mambo, out of a dam called Careless, who was born in 1996 and sired by Carleon, out of a dam called Barger. Torquay raced 24 times in his career, 5 wins and 5 thirds, 10 out of 24 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $1,781,403 in her career. His career, sorry. Torquay, very good horse. Winner of the Melrose Handicap at York in 2005. The horse was third in the 2006 Group 1 St Leger. It was in Australia the horse made his breakthrough. Winner of the Group 1 Caulfield Cup. Winner of the Group 1 Metropolitan Handicap as well. The Group horse was third in the SAJC RA League Stakes and third in the VRC Australian Cup as well. Classic placed in the UK and winner of 2 Australian Group 1 races. Horse was started in 2008 in Argentina, transferred in 2016 to Harras Santa Isabel in, I'm going to say, Peru rather than Puerto Rico. Might be wrong. The horse bred by 6 Sea Stallions Limited and owned by Shadwell Stud Australasia and Harras Los Aguaset International. Very good horse. Torquay, it's fair to say. This one slipped through the net a bit. Landseer. Where are we at with this one? Oh yeah, this is not even on the only line that we've looked at. So we're done with the Trillin horses now. This horse here, Landseer, people will see that Margarethan is also the 4th dam of this horse. She would be the 5th dam of our horse. Landseer is a horse born in 1999, sired by Dane Hill, out of Sabria, a 1991 foaled mare, sired by Mizwaki. Landseer raced 13 times in his career, 4 wins, 4 seconds and a third, 9 out of 13 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $1,154,458 in his career. Very good horse, Landseer. Classic winner. Winner of the French 2,000 guineas of 2002. The horse also won the Group 1 Shadwell Turf Mile the same year. Winner of the Group 3 in those days, Coventry Stakes in 2001. Horse was second in the Group 1 Dewhurst and the second in the Group 1 Criterium International as well. The horse was also second in the Group 1 St James's Palace Stakes and third in the Prix de Fontainebleau as well. So this horse is a Group 3 winning 2-year-old classic winner, dual Group 1 winner at 2 over a mile. Sadly had to be euthanised after fracturing a leg in the Breeders' Cup at Arlington. Rest in peace. Horse bred by Rockwell Bloodstock and owned by Michael Tabor and Mrs. John Magnier. Nicky Rocket is an interesting horse. People will see this is another one on the same line. Sabria is the 3rd dam of this horse on what we will call now the Hail Maggie section. Sabria, the 3rd dam of the horse. Nicky Rocket raced 24 times in her career, 5 wins and 6 seconds, 11 of 24 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of 422,478,000 Japanese yen. Nicky Rocket, very good horse. Winner of the HTB show at 3. She was second in the Biker show and the Tsubaki show, and placed also in the Group 2 Kobe Shinbun High. But it was at 5 she made a breakthrough when she won the Group 1 at Takarazuka Kinen. She also won the Group 2 Nikkei Shinshin High at 4 as well. Group 1 and Group 2 winning older horse out in Japan, trained by Hidetaka Otonashi out in Japan, owned by Mizuki Noda and bred by Northern Farms. Very good mare. Mickey Rocket, another Group 1 winner. Albertus Maximus is an interesting horse on the same line. No, this is a different line. This is the Russ Marie line, the 1956 line, and Race the Wild Wind is on this one as well. Albertus Maximus, a horse born in 2004, sired by Albert the Great, out of a dam called Chase the Wild Wind, born in 1994, sired by 49er. Albertus Maximus raced 17 times in his career, 6 wins, 3 seconds and 2 thirds, 11 out of 17 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $1,328,230 US in his career. Albertus Maximus, bred by Brandon and Marianne Chase and owned by Shadwell Stables, managed to win the Group 1 Don Handicap of 2009, third in the Goodwood Stakes the year before. He also won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile in 2008. At 3, the horse was placed second in the Swaps Breeders' Cup Stakes and the Group 3 Affirmed Handicap. The horse entered stud in 2012 at Shadwell in Kentucky, pensioned in November 2020. The horse retired to Old Friends Farm in March 2022, suddenly euthanised in October the 8th, 2022, due to a paddock accident. A fantastic horse, Albertus Maximus, one of many on this line, it's fair to say. This line here was quite prolific, it's fair to say. Daredevil, a horse born in the year 2012, sired by More Than Ready, out of a dam called Chase the Wild Wind. So this is a half-brother to the horse we just looked at. Daredevil raced 5 times in his career, 2 wins and a second, 3 out of 5 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $424,600 American dollars in his career. Daredevil, Group 1 winning 2-year-old, winner of the Champagne Stakes of 2014. The horse was also second in the Group 2 Swale Stakes. The horse went to stud at 2016 at Windstar before going to the Jockey Club of Turkey for 2020. The horse was brought back in 2021 for 3 years at Lanes End Farm, Kentucky, before returning to the Jockey Club of Turkey in 2025. Sire of 2 classic winners from his first crop, Preakness winner Swift Skydiver, and the Kentucky Oaks winner She Dares the Devil. Very good stallion, bred by Marianne I. Chase and Brandon L. Chase, and currently owned by the Jockey Club of Turkey. Here Comes Ben is a horse we've got to look at now. On to a different dam now, look. Race the Wild Wind is still on this dam, but this is Chasing the Raging Wind. Here Comes Ben, a horse born in 2006, sired by Street Cry, out of a dam called Chase the Raging Wind, who was born in 1995 and foaled by Danger. Here Comes Ben raced 17 times in his career, 7 wins, a second and 3 thirds, 11 out of 17 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $410,764 US in his career. Here Comes Ben at 4, managed to win the Group 1 4-Go Stakes of 2010. He also won another couple of 2 stakes races, the Kelly's Landing Stakes and the Kelly's Landing Stakes again in 2008 and 2009. The horse entered stud in 2012 at Mahana Saratoga Thoroughbreds and went to stud in 2017 in Jamaica. He sadly died in 2021. Unfortunately, Here Comes Ben proved to be an unsuccessful stallion, both in the USA and in Jamaica, sadly. Horse bred by Marianne I. Chase and Brandon L. Chase, owned by them as well. Very good horse, though. One of this line really is top class, isn't it? Shall we look at another one? Day Out of the Office. Day Out of the Office is out of Chase the Raging Wind is the second dam of this one. Day Out of the Office, a mare born in 2018, sired by Into Mischief, out of Gotta Have a Dream. A mare foaled in 2008, sired by Indian Charlie. Day Out of the Office raced 6 times in her career, 3 wins and 2 seconds, 5 out of 6 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $642,300 in her career. Day out of the office, managed to win at 2, the Group 1 Frizette Stakes of 2020. She also won the Group 3 Shuliaville Stakes and was second in the Group 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies the same year. At 3, she was placed second in the Group 2 8 Bell Stakes as well. Group 1 winning 2-year-old, bred by Sienna Farms LLC and owned by Timothy E. Ham and Sienna Farm, and later on by Shaddai Farm out in Japan. 3 colts about there, look, 3 fillies about, colts and fillies. Lord Canaloa, Kissasan Black and Contrail. Safe to say they've shoved a few stallions at this one, haven't they? Absolutely magnificent horse again. Frizette Stakes winner, day out of the office. We can now finally look at the 5th dam of our horse. Margarethan, a mare born in 1962. Sired by Tulliar out of a dam called Russ Marie, who was born in 1956 and sired by Nasrullah out of a dam called Marguerite, who was born in 1938. Margarethan raced 64 times in her career, 16 victories, 5 seconds and 8 thirds, 29 of 64 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $162,933 in her day. She was definitely very active and she won some good races. She won the Modesty Handicap, which is at least a pattern race these days, I think. And she was definitely second in the New York Handicap, second in the Matron Handicap. The rest of the races, I'm not sure what level they are at now. She's the dam, as we know, of Champion Trillon and the Grand Dam of Triptych. She sadly died in 1989. Bred by Woods and Greer and owned by Ernest H. Woods. She won some very good races, I think, in her day. And she's a top mare who raced a lot of times, it's fair to say. We can't really stop there. We've got to look at this horse here, Life's Hope. A gelding, born in 1973, sired by Exclusive Native out of a dam called Tim Marie, who was born in 1968 and sired by Tim Tam. People will see that Russ Marie is the second dam of this horse. So this is a half-brother to our horse, Margarethan. Life's Hope raced 87 times in his career, 15 wins, 15 seconds and 21 thirds. 51 out of 87 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $845,863 in his career. At its best, this horse was decent. It won the Group 3 Illinois Derby and the Group 1 Jersey Derby of 1976. At 4, the horse was placed in what is now Group 1 Malibu Stakes. At 5, the horse won the Haskell of 1976. And at 6, the horse won the Group 3 Native Dancer and was placed at the time in the San Antonio Group 1 Stakes. At 7, the horse was placed in the Citation Handicap. At 8, the horse was 3rd in the Triple Benz Handicap. I mean, what a career this horse had, it's fair to say. Very good horse. 3rd also in the Santa Anita Derby. 6th in the Classic Preakness of 1976. Owned and bred by Harbourview Farm. What a horse. And then we've got to really touch on Gallant Fox, Triple Crown winner, because that is out of Marguerite. You know, and Marguerite would be only the 4th dam of Doff the Derby, and therefore very closely related, it's fair to say, considering going back 100 years. She would only be the 8th dam of our horse. Incredible. Gallant Fox, a horse born in 1927, sired by Sir Galahad out of Marguerite. Gallant Fox raced 17 times in his career, 12 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. 16 out of 17 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $328,165 in his career. Fantastic horse, Gallant Fox. Like I said, he's the 2nd ever American Triple Crown winner, with 1930 taking out the Kentucky, the Preakness and the Belmont. He also won that year the Dwyer Stakes, the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Wood Memorial Stakes, as well as finishing 2nd in the Travers. 1930 Horse of the Year and Champion 3-year-old colt. He was at stud between 1931 and 1950 at Claiborne Farm, Kentucky. He was at the time the only Triple Crown winner Sire, a Triple Crown winner, when Omaha repeated the feat of his father. The horse was pensioned in 1952 before sadly dying in November 1954, horse buried at Claiborne Farm. Bred by William Woodward Sr. and Bel Air Stud, the horse in the end owned by Bel Air Stud as well. I mean, what a phenomenal horse we have got here. I mean, we can take a look at it quickly on the historic bloodline over at bloodlines.net. People still have to go through the Wayback Machine, sadly, to get a good handle on this site. The Argo Tunnel error really is biting hard on this horse, on this website currently, unable to be accessed, which is a tragedy in my view. But people will see that there's Gallant Fox there's Marguerite. We could have had Rebel Raider as well, the Australian Derby winner of 2008. And a lot more on the horses on that section that won this century as well. But I don't know, sometimes if a case is proved, you can stop, can't you? It'd be punishment. It'd be punishment to show you any more horses on this line after what we've looked at, wouldn't it, really? Bloody hell. What a prospect we have here in the once raced mare, Abashiri. You've seen it's related to all those absolutely magnificent race mares that we've seen. Trillon, Triptych, Strawberry Roan, Trev, absolutely litany of them. Absolute millions of them. I could have shown you others that were won listed races and bred 4 or 5 listed winners. You know, just go and look at the stallion page of Van Gogh on Aryan Pedigree if you want a good idea of really this pedigree of the horse, because, you know, that would show every horse. But yeah, absolutely incredible horse. It really is on paper. We now need to really close down a few tabs to save on CPU and think, oh, there's the Van Gogh pedigree there, thinking about it. I mean, look at this. This is what I used to find, to resource a few horses. Could have showed you that one there. Look, Piper, Prime Art. I missed so many, especially down here. Let's miss them too. Missed probably. Missed that one. Even though it was the dam of the horse we looked at. She won a Group 3 herself. Maybe should have included her. Apologies to her. There's other horses in South Africa that were going round that won races that hadn't run in classics. You know, that I chose to leave rather than include. You know, absolute litany of horses that we could have had. You know, the horse pedigree of Abashiri definitely is what it is. World class. How much improvement has this once race filly got in her? That's the question people need to ask. But what we can do before we have a think about that is watch the horse win first time out in an all-weather Class 5 maiden held at Kempton in November 2025. She went off odds-on favourite that day, so is the secret already out about this horse? You know, in certain circles. Let's watch the race, shall we, and see what we think.
Thank you, Anthony. Set now, and they're off and racing. Jumping away, Stellar World was a little bit awkward out of the gates, and slowly away was Counterintuitive as they head through the first furlong. And Malika, she started very brightly together with Venetia in the early stages. Venetia on the inside running rail. Racing together with Malika. Not far away is the favourite, Abashiri, who is now being passed on either side, though, by Kelly Byrne on the rail, and a forward early move from Trace Show to occupy a good, decent early position as well. Tennyson slightly further back, just nudged along, as indeed is Carrie Bay. They're followed by Crown Right, and Abda comes next, ahead of Virtue Chastity and Go for Gold. And then right towards the rear end of the field, as they make the turn, that slow starter, Counterintuitive, in company with Stellar World. So they're making their way round the top turn. Venetia holding the advantage narrowly from Malika in second place, and 3 wide in the stripes is Trace Show. Striped sleeves on the rail, that's Kelly Byrne. She's travelling very strongly indeed. Abashiri's in behind her, just a neck away, a very close 5th. Carrie Bay, Crown Right's another one travelling into the straight, going very nicely indeed as Tennyson now comes fully under the pump, so too does Carrie Bay, and then Virtue Chastity and Adba at the rear end of the field. Still Venetia leads the field, but now a big move from Abashiri comes through to try and challenge. Between those two is Malika in 3rd place. Crown Right finishing off the race pretty well, and then races Kelly Byrne, but this is Abashiri. Little wave of the crop on the outside, and she shoots clear. Impressive on debut. She's a daughter of Frankel. Abashiri has made a perfect start. Very impressive. Beats Venetia and Crown Right, who in turn were well clear of the others who were headed off by Virtue Chastity.
What have we got here? I mean, you've seen all the horses that this horse is related to, haven't you? I've just shown you them all. That was an absolutely sensational performance, I thought, for a debut there from Abashiri. Settled off the pace. The pace looked sensible, didn't it? She was settled off it nicely, allowed her time to gather her feet and work her way into the race. And then when they entered the straight, the final couple of furlongs on this all-weather track, it has to be said, this horse has never raced on the turf, let's remember that. And she's attempting to win the UK 1000 guineas on her first turf start. You know, she would need to be a very well-bred horse to do that, wouldn't she? Hey? Who knows what this horse is going to do? Who knows if she is a classic horse? But one thing's for certain, on that debut at Kempton, when they entered the final straight, the final 2 furlongs, it was like he asked her, and she cruised up, didn't she? She cruised up to the front of the race. And then once the jockey, William Buick, asked her, she shot clear. Who knows what she beat in a November all-weather maiden at the end of the season? The Racing Post only rated the form 85, and she did win by a comfortable 4 lengths. So it's fair to say that the Racing Post at this stage doesn't really rate any of the opposition. Is this filly, Abashiri, a classic filly? I suppose, hopefully, if she lines up in the UK 1000 guineas, we might begin to find out tomorrow. But don't forget, the filly is entered in the Group 1 UK Oaks as well, in a month's time, and over a mile and a half, over a half a mile further. But I think we saw enough there to see that this horse could be competitive over a mile. But we had the double art winner, didn't we? And other horses that look to be better over a mile and a half. So I do think that whatever this horse does on her second start in the UK 1000 guineas, this horse is a fantastic horse, isn't it, really? And if she does line up, well, it's hard to say it's a fantastic horse. The potential of this horse is unlimited, at this stage. The ceiling of this horse is simply impossible to assess. All people can go on is the pedigree, and if they're lucky enough to get close to the horse and see how it's going at home. But obviously, that's not my position. I will never be as lucky with that. All I can do is look at the pedigree. I've looked at the pedigree, and I think I've made a fairly good case for the horse. And if the horse does turn up in the UK 1000 guineas tomorrow, or the UK Oaks further down the line, maybe they supplement it for other classics as well, then I'm fairly certain that this horse, Abashiri, will be seen on Classic Watch 26.great/site.net. Right, I can think about leaving this video here now. What horses have we looked at in this video? The best one I think we've done for a long, long time. You know, I've been waiting to get this horse on this line on side for a while. And finally, through this horse, it's on the great site. Classic Watch 26. No other bloodline really deserves it more. I think it's the first one from this bloodline. Van Gogh was a text site when we did Van Gogh, so I didn't have to do a video in them days. But yeah, what a fantastic prospect we have here. What else can I offer you? I can offer you an opportunity to look at the Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist as well. At the end of this video, every single horse from the Classic Watch 26 process has its own video. Head over to the playlist on YouTube afterwards and watch them if you wish, ahead of this season. And I can also give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel as well. That way, if you do some work with your YouTube notifications, you will not miss any of my content moving forward on YouTube. You can enable your notifications so YouTube sends you a link every time I upload a video. It's also an in-app notification as well on YouTube. A bit of work needs to be done, so I've been told, but it is possible. And every video, I've confirmed it by liaising with the person. They do get a link every time I upload a video. So you will not miss anything. So I will give you an opportunity to subscribe as well. But for now, I can think about leaving the video. We've got about 4 or 5 hours to the Kentucky Derby, where my own little site, classicwatch26.greatsite.net, will be looking to take out the second classic of the day after taking out the UK 2000 Guineas, courtesy of Bo Echo earlier. There's plenty of other classics upcoming as well. UK 1000 Guineas tomorrow, and then we're off to France next week for another couple of Guineas. It's just hotting up, really, to think that after this, there will only be one US bred based horse on my site. Still 2 more US classics to come. The Preakness and the Belmont, they come rather quickly. You know, we've had a couple of scratches from the American-based horses this week, so we've been unlucky. Hopefully they'll make their way on the site at some point as well. Also, don't forget the Patreon channel, Newman Racing. I will mention the Patreon channel. So rude of me not to mention it. I do think there is something for you. Head over there and see if it's for you. But for now, I'm going to end this video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. And whatever you're doing this weekend, make sure it's something that you enjoy, if you can. We're only on this earth once, and life is so precious. Try and make the most of it whenever you can. But for now, I'm going to leave you now. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and each other. And goodbye. Go on, Bo Echo.